I'm Cody.
I'm Jay, and this is my beautiful imperfect life. In this video, we're going to go over some of the pros and the cons of the DJI Osmo Pocket. Alright, so here are just some of the cons that I think might affect somebody buying the Osmo Pocket. Okay, this is kind of like a positive and it's also a negative. I like how when the Osmo is inside the case, you can easily charge it. Same thing with the SD card. The SD card is right here. Boom, SD card is out. It took me, 2 seconds? Not even that. So for the post-production aspect of it, this is definitely easy to use. Plug in, pull out. You can also have this plugged into an external battery pack and be charging it while you're filming, so it extends your battery life. This is really good for if you're shooting a long time lapse. If you watched last week's video, or earlier this week, if you watched that video, the time lapse is awful because I was trying to hold it and I wasn't happy with the direction I was holding. It was like, hold it straight. And so it didn't record most of the time lapse. What would have helped that is if I could have put it on top of a base of some sort. But if you're plugged into an external battery pack, then you can't, because the cord's going to come out from here and it's just going to kind of float here. There are several third parties that have created different things to make this a lot easier to use, and especially to be able to put it like on a tripod or some sort of stand. But DJI did not release them with the actual Osmo Pocket, which is kind of weird because you kind of need it to do, especially like time lapse. Like they make this big deal about their motion time lapse, and I have no place to.
And for being a feature that they talk about, it was a little bit more difficult to set up than it probably should have been, to be quite honest.
Until those accessories come out, I'm not even going to try to do another time lapse with this. The Osmo Pocket has had a firmware update that improves some of the features. Primarily on the Osmo Pocket, the big one is the microphone, the on-camera sound, which, as I mentioned before, since there's no accessories for this, there's no way to add an external microphone at this time. So you do rely on the onboard microphones a lot. It's not that bad if you're, vlogging like this, because the microphone on the back right here is facing right at me. And if I turn it like this to talk to Cody, the microphone on the bottom, which is back here, is going to pick him up. However, another thing I've noticed is that I'm left-handed, and I prefer to hold it like this, kind of it's easier to stabilize it. I give it its own little base by going like this, and it can hold it a lot more steady. But my hand goes right over that bottom microphone, which makes it completely worthless. So if I'm going to be interviewing somebody at this time, I'll probably just do a separate recording either on my cell phone or on my Zoom. It's not a complete loss. If you're going to be sitting down and interviewing somebody, you're probably going to want the better quality that you can get from Zoom or from Lav Mic or something else anyway. If that's the case, we're kind of nitpicking. The audio isn't that bad. So another negative about the Osmo Pocket with how it was made, it doesn't accommodate a phone like the old Samsung Galaxies because it has the the micro USB. I have a lightning connector here. That's for the iPhones. It also came with the C, but if you have a 2-year-old Samsung Galaxy, like the Galaxy 7, I have the 7 Edge at home, you can't use it. Like you can't.
There's no micro
USB. So you can't pull this out of the box and start using it that day because you also need to hook it up using a cell phone the first time. You need to activate it on their website and through the app. So if you don't have any way to hook it up to your phone and there's no wireless connector currently, there's one coming out, but it does not exist at this moment. You're kind of screwed. You have to buy another adapter. So, you might order this and be super excited and open it up and then realize, wait, I can't connect it, and it's basically a brick until you do. If you go into Amazon, you search C the USB adapter. There's a lot out there, but it's just one more thing you have to buy. I almost feel like connecting the phone right here is still it's like a millimeter, and it's still too far away, and it kind of makes my phone feel a little unsteady. If you have to add something else onto it and it makes it stick out to here, then your phone's going to go here. That's even more unsteady and it's even less pocket-y. I just don't understand why they couldn't make 3 adapters. Doesn't seem like that much of a stretch. Or make the 3rd adapter available for purchase. I've stated my grievances with using it as a vlogging camera, and that is I don't like how sharp it is, and I've even taken it down to like the least sharpened, and I still think it shows too many flaws, and it's a little too close for my liking. I like the frame a little bit further away from me. And here are some of my favorite things about the Osmo Pocket. I do like it. I like how it's built. I love the case it comes with. I just think it's a nice pocket camera, and it's a nice affordable option for people who want a camera and don't have a ton of money to spend on it. At $349, you can just get this and take it out and get good quality footage. You don't need any of the accessories. You don't need any add-ons or anything. They help, but just straight out of the box, this little guy is pretty good. So for that, if you're just looking for a basic like video camera to record things like your kids or family events, things like that, definitely pick up an Osmo Pocket.
Like when you're outside with this camera, it's really nice because it's a lot more stable than your GoPro, and you're going to get a lot more vivid blues, I've noticed. Maybe whites on the outside.
A little more like detail, like the highlights are there more, so especially like on a blue day, you're going to see the blue sky and the clouds are going to be a lot more distinct.
And I think if you're going to go, like if you are trying to go from a beginner to a novice, a GoPro is a great place to start. And then to kind of go more from a novice to an expert, I think you're probably going to want to go with an Osmo, just because the quality is a little bit better with the picture.
It takes amazing video. It really does. It's smooth. You know, if you're going to be walking and you trip over something, yeah, it's going to show that. You can't be too extreme with it. But if you're just kind of casually going like this, or if you're, you know, panning up, panning down, left, right, even walking, if you're a nice walker and not a heavy walker, it's going to make really nice, smooth footage. It can shoot 4K at 60 frames a second, so that is really nice. You know, it has a lot of features like slow-mo, the time-lapse, and a lot of settings within all of those, which is really nice. Love the panorama pictures. The 3x3 pano is amazing. I use 3x3 pano to take pretty much every picture I take out of this thing now, because it just captures so much and it looks so nice. I took a 3x3 pano of the moon about a week ago. It had this really nice like ring around it, this aura around it. And this thing did an amazing job capturing it. I was super impressed. So for outdoor photography, even nighttime outdoor photography, this thing takes pretty cool pictures. If you're a vlogger, this is a really great option because you can, you know, hit that button 3 times, it swings around on you, you can talk to it. And then if you want to show the audience what you are looking at, you just tap it again 3 times, it spins itself right back around. And you don't waste any time actually turning the camera around. It sounds silly, but that amount of time could actually be valuable. So it's a very good option for vlogging. I think it's a good option for B-roll, and it's a good option even for like short movies and things like that where sound is not that important. I'm using this for work, and I do a number of things. I do tours of homes. I do interviews with people. I feature local businesses. I feature local events and music festivals, things like that. This is going to work for all of that. The only thing I can think that this won't work for is anything action related. I wouldn't take this down the ski hill.
On a boat.
I wouldn't take it on a boat. I wouldn't take it outside if it's raining outside. That's what the GoPro is for. That's why we have a GoPro. If I'm going to do something like, okay, I'm going to use this word, but I hate it, but cinematic, I'm whipping this thing out because this thing can do it, and it can do it well, and it can do it easily, and anybody can pick it up and after a few tries probably nail whatever it is they're trying to do. So it's awesome for that. I'm guessing version 2 of the Osmo Pocket is going to hash out some of these issues people are having and people are reporting with the original one, and that's the downside of buying the first version.
Makes sense.
All right, so this has been Jay.
And Cody.
And this is My Beautiful and Perfect Life. We are heading to CES now, pretty soon. We're getting ready to board our flight. So we will not be releasing an episode next week, most likely. So that's why I'm releasing a second one this week. We are going to go to CES and see what other fun things that we can find to tell you about. Yeah. So we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. And if you're going to be at CES, maybe we'll see you there.
Happy New Year.
Bye.